Hey people, it's Lupita. This is Milan. Welcome back to another video. So, hey, hi, hello. As you can tell from the title, it's a Valentine's Day. Get ready with me. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. This is the look, and I hope you like it. I'm sorry, it is not fresh. This is 11 hours old, and I'm so sorry I couldn't make an outro, an intro, and nada. Like, I had to get out of my house because my mom had an appointment, so we left. But I did want to make a video, so I got up early. I still didn't have enough time. I talk too much. Yeah, just Valentine's, get ready with me. So as I do my makeup and get ready, we're gonna talk about A Promising Young Woman, a movie that I feel like just came out. I had to rent it, paid 20 bucks. It was pretty good. If you don't want to know what happens in that movie, because I'm going to talk about absolutely everything, skip this. Don't watch it. Please don't. I don't want to be responsible. Watch that first. Come back here if you want to. Maybe not, because literally it's going to be just the same as the movie. I tell like completely in a different way of the movie though, so that I could say it a little bit quicker. Still took me the whole get ready with me. But yeah, let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Become a Lupita Lander, become one of my besties, get your passport, your citizenship, the whole shebang. Don't forget to turn on that bell, because if you do, you won't see me again. It's just a thing that happens. The audacity. But yeah, guys, I'm so ready. Let's get into it so you can see this look. But yeah, okay, let's go. Hi guys, so let's get right into the video, because y'all already know, I already said everything. Hopefully y'all remember to say it. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Obviously it's not Valentine's Day today, but it is. But it's not. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day, happy Galentine's Day. I'm on time, I'm early, I'm ready. Hi, how are you? So I'm just going in and we're gonna do my makeup, my eyeshadow. I already did the whole shebang, girl. I'm sorry, I just couldn't wait. So I did obviously lotion, primer, the whole thing, brows, foundation, concealer, powder, the whole shebang. It's just quicker that way. Plus I think all of that's kind of boring. But yeah, I was just watching Selena X Chef, and it was very cute. And also, rare beauty, baby, rare beauty. I'm super excited, guys. I'm super excited for Valentine's Day. I'm hopefully just going to have, you know, a chill day that day. I'm excited. That is a lot of color. That was way more color than I was expecting. Whoa. I was going for a very light E color, but it said orange. It said hi, hello. So today, I know it's Valentine's Day. I know we're supposed to be cute and festive. We're about to talk about a movie which is called, I think it's called A Promising Young Woman, or I think it's called Promising Young Woman. So if you haven't watched it, don't watch this video. I'm sorry, I love you. And also, if you don't care, if you're not gonna buy it, rent it, or whatever, watch it. Maybe you'll forget the end by the time it comes out. Oh, that movie was wild, and it's so weird that I'm gonna talk about it. But I just watched it the other day, like, yeah, just a few days ago. So I can't, like, not talk about it. But it is not a good topic for Valentine's Day. I realize that, but, you know, here we are in the movie. I can't remember the name, so I'm gonna just name people as close as I remember, because I can't. But we got a main character, and I'm gonna give just a general talk about, because again, it's just me ranting about this. That's what I want to do. I just want to rant about it mostly. Okay, this side needs a little bit more orange, because the other one is accidentally just oranged out of the blue. The movie starts with our protagonist, which is, I think, Cassidy or Cass or Casey. I don't know her name. I'm sorry, it's kind of bad. But yeah, And we start with Casey. And I guess I should go in like a chronological. Wow, that was horrible. I'm gonna go in a chronological order. The movie does not go in this order, but I'm gonna do it because I feel like it'll just be understood better. I just want to get to what I'm like complaining about. Not complaining, but like just talking about the movie, because it was kind of like, oh my god, that's wild, you know? There's these two best friends, and again, I'm telling it in a way the movie will look completely different than what I'm saying. Anyways, let me continue. Basically, there's these two best friends, Nina and Cassie, or let's call her Cass, and they're in school together. You know, it's college, med school. They're having a blast being med students, partying, having a blast, whatever. We find out that Nina is at a party, and I guess she gets really drunk or drugged by these guys that I guess were their friends, or at least were in the same class that they were in. And Nina gets drugged, and she's raped by this guy, and we're just gonna call him Evil Guy because I couldn't remember his name. I don't think his name is that important. He sucks, he's horrible, we hate him, but that's not all. You find out that she was also filmed, so they filmed the rape, they sent it out to everybody, and it turns out even girls were sent it, their friends were sent it, and people thought it was funny. Okay, that's a start. Okay, nice. People thought it was funny. But yeah, she didn't know she was being filmed. She was filmed. She was raped. And there, not only was that happening, but it was all at a party, and all these people and guys were gathered while this girl was being raped. And not one person or bystander stopped it, which is just so gross. Yeah. So then we basically kind of can gather that this girl, she wakes up, she doesn't really remember what happened to her, she doesn't know what's going on. She goes to one of her friends, not her bestest friend, Cass, because I think Cass probably wasn't at this party. Maybe she was more responsible, not like partying is a bad thing, but maybe that just was her. She was like, I want to sleep, I don't want to party, so, you know. Maybe she was more of that type, and maybe she just wasn't there for her friend to help her. So that friend, which is called Madison, she didn't believe her. Nina went to the dean. The dean also said, well, this, happens every day. There's no proof. We don't believe you. There's a lawyer who kind of badgers her to quit her case. And so she does, and she drops out of school, and she's really depressed. And there's just this whole line that kind of lets you know, yeah, Evil Guy gets away with it, but also all of the guys in that friend group keep quiet, and all of the guys that have been sent proof of rape didn't even send it to the police or to Nina's lawyer. People are just covering for people, and basically they're really evil. So Cass, Nina is her bestest friend in the whole world, so she quits with her. And obviously she didn't want to. She's always wanted to be a doctor. And so, it really hurts. But that's her best friend. So she quits with her. And then the most horrible thing happens. Nina can't handle it. Nobody's siding with her. Nobody is caring about her. And sometimes, when people have been raped, they all get this mentality that they deserve it, they're not worth anything. That's depression by the situation that happened to them. They think that. And so when people also don't believe her, and then also just keep being friends with this evil guy, it kind of gives her this sense of, oh, nobody's even thinking about me anymore, nobody's talking about me, am I even important, is this real, do people think I'm lying just to lie or whatever? It is, super painful for her, and she takes her own life. So at this point, Cassie is obviously she's just done. She's hurt. She's over it. We could say that this happened in their 20s, when you do your med school and all that jazz. A couple years go by, and now it's around Cassie's 30th birthday, and you realize that she kind of isn't doing what she was before. Like in school, she's not the same. She's put together, but she's also just kind of absent-mindedly doing things that are kind of not normal, to say the least. To set the scene, one night you see her and she looks just drunk out of her mind. And you see these guys that are all looking at her like, oh my god, why do women do that? They're putting themselves in vulnerable positions, like somebody could just sweep them and take them away and do whatever, blah blah blah. And then she just looks really haphazardly drunk, her underwear is showing, like she's, you know, whatever. And this guy, they had been talking, you could tell he seems like the sweet guy, you know, because he's over here defending one of their co-workers, like, oh my god, like it's just so unfair, she has less opportunities than us, blah blah blah, right? So he looks like a nice guy. A lot of people look like nice guys in this movie. So he seems really sweet and he goes to her, he tries to talk to her, tries to help her. They get a ride to her home together, but halfway he's like, hey, do you want to go to my place? And she doesn't respond, but he takes her to his place, gives her another drink, starts kissing her, lays her on a bed, tells her she's beautiful, is kissing her, groping her, literally looks like he's planning to have sex with her. Meanwhile, she's just like not all there, and she's, you know, looking like a drunk person would in these situations, just completely out of it, when all of a sudden Cassie just looks up at him very soberly and says, I told you to stop. I want to go home. He just looks up like, oh my god. So you see a lot of instances like this where basically she acts drunk at a club every night, and every night she's taken home and nobody actually takes care of her. Nobody's actually being a nice guy. So they're all nice guys. TM, you know what I'm talking about. She's just constantly proving the point that it doesn't matter if you get drunk, if you quote unquote put yourself in a certain situation. Like, it shouldn't matter, because people don't have a right to your body, to yourself, but guys will always just take it. So she does this a lot. And at first you start to think that, oh, what happens after that? Is she like killing them? What's she doing? But no. She's actually just going to these places, meeting these men, signaling them out, and making them feel really, really weird after she catches them. And it's really interesting because it's really dangerous to do stuff like that, you know? Do I put like some gold sparkle or do I not put some? Ooh, there's like glitters, like pink glitter sparkle. I'm gonna add a little bit near the inner corner, I think. Like, it's Valentine's Day, how could I not, you know? So yeah, she's with these guys and she doesn't kill them, she doesn't do anything. She sometimes just catches them and then she's just like, so you're just gonna take a woman and you don't even know like what's going on or if she wants to be with you. It's like, oh, I thought you were okay with it, blah blah blah. And she's just like, no. Like, we don't have a connection, we don't have anything, like, come on, you don't even know my name. She's basically scaring these men who do think, they really do believe that they are good, kind men. But I feel like deep down they're lying to themselves that they are these people, you know, because clearly they are getting with someone without consent, right? And she's telling them, like, did you really think I wanted to do this? And then she asks them, you know, what, you still want to have sex? And they'll be like, no. She's like, funny. They never do. They've been caught, you know, not being the good men that they think they are, not being the good men that they say they are. She's just very angry with the world. You can tell that she doesn't care. I think I had mentioned, yeah, she's like near her 30s. She's still living with her parents. She has kind of no real aspirations that you can see. Her parents also kind of, you can see that they want to kick her out. They're like, you know, it's enough. It's your 30th birthday. You have to go. But they don't kick her out. They're just kind of like incentivizing, which is good. You know, at least they're just throwing the incentive instead of just throwing her out. You know, people do that without warning. I don't get that. And she works at a small coffee shop. She doesn't look like she wants to really do any better than she already is. At first, I'm very much like a positive person, so I thought she was just, you know, still growing, still coming into her own. It's not easy, you know, with all the things that have happened to her in her life. I thought she was still waiting, you know, to heal, to get better before she, you know, wanted to move on up. But at one point, her friends kind of like, come on, there's like this job that you can work at, move on up, do better. And then she kind of tells her friend like, no, if I wanted to live a better life, I would. Like, if I wanted a boyfriend or a job that my mom could gush to her friends about, or just an all-around good life, I could do that. But I don't want that. I like this job. This is what I like to do. And her friend kind of tells her that, like, her boyfriend saw her at a club looking completely drunk, and then she went home with a guy, and she's just like, I've never been there. I don't know what you're talking about. So it's just like, she really has this double life where she tests these guys, and people just don't know about it. So at one point, this guy comes in, and you don't know it at first, but it's a guy who, he comes into her job, and he used to go to med school with her, blah, blah, blah. He's a doctor, she isn't. And he's like, you were one of the best. Like, how come you're not working at a doctor? How come you're here? And she's just like, what? And so he insulted her, and he's like, I'm sorry, you could spit in my coffee. She does. He drinks it. It's really gross and weird. Somebody gives their number, and that's that. You think she's gonna go on a date with him, but no, she's just, you know, doing her little scam things again, and you see that again, and the guy gets all scared again. And she's like, you know, Neil, you're cool. Like, at least you didn't put your fingers in me when I was asleep. You wanted me to be awake. And I'm like, wow. He's crazy, and she's a firecracker. But yeah, he like put his fingers in her mouth to put cocaine in there. So that's great, because I guess he wanted her to be all drugged up, because all these times that she looks obviously drunk, she's completely sober. I always thought when she was doing these things, like when I watched the movie, that she was just like, you know, I don't know, that either she was killing them. So I thought she was like, oh, she's like super badass, you know, she's super cool, like whatever, like she can handle it, or she has knives, or, you know, maybe she does things to keep herself safe. But it wasn't until I watched Stephanie Sue's video on this, which if you want to watch it, you could definitely watch hers. It's probably a much better, more detailed version than mine's. But yeah, and hers actually goes in the order of the movie, but yes. So Stephanie Sue kind of mentioned that this girl is actually super depressed and kind of suicidal, and it really didn't dawn on me, because I thought, like, at first, I swear, I thought she was killing them or like hurting them or doing something, but you find out she just threatens them. She's just like, stop doing this. You're raping girls if you do this. Sometimes you never know. She could actually be taking home a rapist who could kill her. So you could tell she does not at all care. So the guy comes in to her store again. We'll call him Paul. I think that's his name. I don't know. And he's like, you gave me the wrong number. I really like you. Like, let's go out. I sent this really heartfelt message, but then it went to somebody else. Like, it was this plumber. Like, he's in love with me now, but you know, like, I want you. It was really cute and everything, blah blah blah. They're all cute, they're going on dates, and then at the end of their date, like, it was a long date, it was amazing, it was really cute, you could tell. But homeboy made a huge mistake where he like was like, oh, this is my apartment, it's the end of the night. It's like, you want to come up? And she's just like, no. And he's like, I ruined it. And she's just like, no, it's fine, like, you're home, I'll just take an Uber, whatever. And she's visibly mad. She kicks a trash can in the street, because obviously this kind of gives her the thought and idea that, dang, like, men really are kind of all the same, you know? At least that's the impression she has now, you know, that men are the same, which, you know, isn't it at all. Like, she kind of said, like, hey, I'm gonna take it slow, and he just tried it really, really fast, and it's just, again, giving her that really idea that, oh, I've been right this whole time. But the next day, she actually goes to the doctor's office, and she's just like, you know, I can try it, but, like, just so you know, like, I need it to be really slow, like, I'm just really hesitant. So they're dating, it's really sweet, it's cute, it's good, but one day he mentions that evil guy is getting married. So they were all in the same class in college, and he was there too. So he mentions that evil guy is getting married, and she kind of gets triggered. She starts looking them up, and suddenly she's just like, I need revenge. So she goes into this rampage of getting revenge. Yeah. So slowly she's hitting a lot of people. She goes to Madison. First she checks if they have any guilt left of what's happened. And also she's still dating the guy. She like dresses up more like she used to in college, because at first she was kind of just like, she was really pretty, but she didn't dress like as cutesy girly 10 years later. And it's really interesting seeing her, how she is when she dates Paul. She's like very girly and cutesy, and it even kind of seems, at least to me, it seemed even kind of fake. Like it didn't seem real, like not genuine, because it kind of seemed like a past version of her. I don't know if she was trying to recreate that or if she was kind of frozen in that time, because even though what happened to her friend wasn't her trauma, it was, you know, still something that just has a butterfly effect on everybody in the victim's life, you know, or survivor, however you want to say it. It's interesting, like you could see she's kind of getting hopeful, but the mention of the evil guy kind of like triggered her. So she's just like, well, I'm gonna get my revenge. So at the same time, she's getting her revenge, and she's also still doing her weekend teachings of men, you know. So I'm not gonna do it in the order that the movie goes, but basically she gets revenge. She calls up Maddie and she's just like, hey, let's catch up. They go to dinner. She does her thing where she gets champagne and gets Maddie day drunk while Cassie is completely sober. We'll just have wings up to Jesus. Like, it's fine. It's fine. So anyway, she gets Madison all day drunk, which is a fun time. Just kidding. She gets her day drunk. Then she asks her about Nina and like what she thought of it. She's just like, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, do you remember why I left school? She's like, no, I don't. Why would I remember that? Why would I think about it? And she's just like, Nina, like everything that happened. She's like, why wouldn't you help a friend when they're in need? And she's kind of like, it's not my fault. Like, she kind of set herself up for that. Like, it's her fault. Why would she get herself so drunk? She's like, she told you she felt weird. She told you she didn't know what happened to her and that she felt off. She had bruising and everything. Why didn't you help her? I like how I just have my bag right there. So basically, she victim blames Nina completely. Just washes herself completely of the guilt. And she's just like, you know, how can you still talk to those guys? Like, you know, evil guy and all his friends. Like, it's crazy. And I don't understand how a woman could just not believe in a so-called friend. She's like, she was your friend, blah, blah, blah. And like, she just kept victim blaming. Like, she was crying wolf. Like, that's what it sounded like, because she was always sleeping with guys and like getting drunk. Like, that's the idea that she set up for herself. Like, she can't do that and like expect people to believe her. And so that's where Casey's just like, okay. And she gets kind of upset, and you see her walk away, and this girl is so drunk, and she just looks like, oh, like her head's on the table, and she just looks completely out of it, like she's just not all there anymore. And then you see that she's got like one of her friends, or a guy, you don't know who it is actually, and he has a drink, and she gives him a key, and she's like, are you sure about this? And she's just like, yes. So, oh my god, this color is so pretty. You see that she has, my god, wow. So she hands her friend, or this guy, a key, and he's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes, it's room 205. And basically you get the idea that he is going to take that girl and into a hotel room, and who knows what is going to happen. Karma, maybe. Karma, I don't know. So in the movie, you don't really know what's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you already, because otherwise you're going to be like, oh my god, Cass, what? You basically get the gist. He just took care of her. He took her to a hotel, let her be sober, and she woke up the next day really frantic, not knowing what happened to her and all that jazz. which is self-explanatory. Like, obviously that's how you would feel. So she calls and calls Cassie after that, you know, day happened, and this is like weeks or days later, and Cassie just ignored her. She let her suffer. She didn't answer her calls. Like, this woman like showed up at her house asking her like, is it okay? She was just kind of like, no, like, you're fine, sorry I didn't like reply, but like, no, you didn't do anything, like, he just like took care of you, like, he's fine, you're fine, like, nothing happened. And she's just like, oh my god, thank god, like, I just felt so bad, da da da. And we'll come back to that day. I kind of got ahead of myself. After that, her next revenge was the lawyer. She knocks on the door and he's like, I'm not a lawyer anymore, I don't help out people. And she's like, please help me out. And he kind of recognizes her and he's like, oh, is this like my judgment day? Something along those lines. She's just like, yeah. So he looks frantic, he looks just destroyed, and she's just like, do you remember my friend? He's just like, yeah, Nina, sorry, I don't remember her last name, sorry. And she basically tells him like, you badgered her to like quit her case, and he was just like, yeah, I felt so horrible after that, but like, you don't get it, like, they tell us to get women to like drop their cases, we get money for that, blah blah blah, like, you have no idea the guilt I've had since then. I had like an epiphany, but the doctor says it was like a mental breakdown, where I kind of realized the horribleness that I've done. And he goes kind of crazy and actually is very scary to Cassie. Even Cassie is just like, you know, like, something could happen to me right now, and she didn't look armed in any way again. And at this point, it's kind of weird. Throughout the movie, you don't really realize, I feel like, that she's very suicidal. And when she's with Cooper, she's just brightened up. She's more lively. It looks like she's actually hoping to like live, you know. So you can see she had actual fear when he goes on this kind of crazy rampage of like, oh, I should have done better, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And he even gets close to her and like, he's on her legs and like, please, I need forgiveness, da da da. And she's like, I forgive you. And it's insane. It was really scary. It was done in a way where I think the viewer knew he wasn't gonna do anything, and he really just was completely destroyed by what he'd done. And because of that, she was like, okay, she was kind of like playing God, or I guess getting her revenge on people that just hadn't repented. So she's letting them repent. She's trying to get them to prove that they repented, you know. And so far, you know, the Lord repented. So she goes to her car and there's a guy there, and he's just like, shall I go in now? And she's like, no. He's like, I'm still getting paid though. And she's like, yeah. So basically he was gonna get like beat up if he hadn't repented. And like, he would have been okay if it happened, because he even told her like, are you gonna hurt me? And she was just like, no. And then the next person she does is this Dean. It's done in a crazy way. Like, this woman like acts like she's a makeup artist for this boy band. They're gonna do a music video, and like, she's in the car and she gets this teen to like help her, and that teen ends up being the Dean's daughter. It's insane. So she goes there, asks if she remembers Nina. She's like, I'm gonna go back to school. And you remember Nina? At first I thought it was like genuine. I don't know why. I was like, oh, I guess she has hope again. She's gonna go to school. She's gonna finish. But no. She wanted to ask the dean. She's like, you remember this girl? What happened to her? She was raped. Blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, I don't remember. I don't remember her name. We get cases like that every week. Blah, blah, blah. And basically, she was like, oh, but do you remember Evil Guy? Which, now that I remember, I think his name was Alex or Al. She was like, yeah, I remember Alexander. And she was just like, really? So you remember a rapist, but not a victim? So, like, again, just proving that every, like, roadblock, there wasn't anybody to stop it. To stop this rapist from getting away from what he had gotten away with. You know, Evil Guy. We're just gonna go back. He doesn't deserve a name. So basically, the dean just was so, just kind of gross. Just not, again, just not for women. Just like, oh, but we get accusations like that all the time. Like, I don't want to ruin a man's life, or a young man's life. Like, I couldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, but you can ruin, like, her life. You can ruin, like, everybody else's life. And she's just like, you really have all this faith in these boys? She was in a room with guys and alcohol, and like, you know, they just didn't even investigate it. They didn't even try. And she just saw, like, Cassie saw, like, the dean had no, which again, by the way, she's a woman. The dean just did not have any remorse. And so Cassie tells her, like, oh, But what if it was your daughter? Like, would you care then? The dean's like frantic, and she's just like, yeah, like I just dropped her off in the same room as Cassie with a bunch of guys and alcohol. I mean, they seem nice, and your daughter, she's really beautiful. She's not all there. She's not really smart. She just came right with me without even a worry. Like, she just came to me. But yeah, like I'm sure those boys will be very nice with her. I'm sure they will treat her well. They won't do anything to her, you know? The mom's just frantic. Like, what's the room number? Where is it? And she's just like, oh, the same one as Nina. Like, do you remember? And she's just like, no, I don't remember. Tell me the number. And she's just frantic, screaming. Like, even the, the secretary hears it outside. And she's like, you know? It's crazy. It's real crazy. She's really frantic. And Cassie, I guess, like, just was, you know, sitting there enjoying the moment, the revenge. And she just was like, at the end, she kind of said like, oh, I guess when it's someone we love, then we understand how bad this feels and how horrible it is. And then, plot twist, she's just like, cookie break. So Cassie, I feel like you can tell, you the more you watch the movie, the more you can see that she's actually a really good person. She had a promising future, promising young woman. And she's like, don't worry, I don't have as much confidence in young men as you do. So your daughter's actually at a diner. She's waiting for her favorite boy band. She thinks they're gonna arrive there. You better go to her because I don't think she's gonna figure it out if you don't. And also, when everything was going crazy, she was like calling her, trying to get her to like reply, and like Cassie had taken her phone and the phone like rang there. She's like, oh yeah, I took her phone. So she really tortured the dean for like a good 10 minutes, which I guess it's fine. Nobody was harmed. But yeah, the daughter was like in high school, which is super scary, and she probably was so in trouble after that. Imagine like your daughter just goes with a random stranger, like just because she's a woman. Like, whew, isn't that dangerous? But I think that's the last of the revenges that she does in terms of, you know, not evil guy, but the people around. So that's when Madison pops in. She's just like, oh my god, blah blah blah, let's talk. She's like, I really thought about what happened. Obviously, after living, basically literally being put into Nina's shoes, she had a realization, and she tells her like, oh my god, I can't believe what happened to Nina. Like, that's crazy, that's horrible, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry I didn't side with you, blah blah blah. I think that's what she said, I don't know. But that's when Cassie finds out that there was a video. She hadn't known that it was filmed, and she was like, we were all sent the video, and she's just like, what? She's like, yeah, I have it. I saved my old phone for pictures and all that. You can keep it. Don't watch it. Just keep it if you want to return it to the police or anything. But yeah, I can't believe we all thought it was funny at first. That's crazy. So basically, these people are literally evil. Like, they just didn't at all care to report a raping, because it was obvious that Nina was unconscious when everything was happening. So when you're watching this, I did not realize it. Boy, did I not realize it when I watched the movie. It wasn't until Stephanie Sue kind of mentioned it. I don't know. I was working at the time while I was watching it, so I couldn't really focus completely on the movie as I would have wanted to. But basically, Nina hears something. You see her tears just rolling down her face, and she's kind of like, oh my god, everybody is evil and horrible and this world sucks. She just, it looked like the life was cut out, and she just didn't care anymore, you know? The light was taken again. You see her frantically going in to see her boyfriend Paul. She like demands to see him. She's like, but I'm working, I can't really, like, blah blah blah. I was like, no, really, like, I really need to talk to you, please. And he like agrees to. So they talk, and she's like, oh my god, I need to show you something. He's like, okay. And at first he's like, oh cool, like this is hot or whatever, because Nina's showing him the video, and then he realizes what it is. Like, oh my god, I don't want to see that, what is that? And he's just like, you were there. It's like, no, it wasn't. And then you hear his voice kind of be like, oh my god, this is crazy, like this is insane. But did he say anything? Did he do anything? Like, no, he basically was the same as the guys because he covered for them. I can't believe it's been an hour. Sorry guys. I haven't even gotten into the ranting and I'm like practically done with my makeup. So basically he's like, I love you. Are you gonna forgive me? Are you gonna hold it over me? Blah blah blah. And she's just like, no, I don't care. It's over. And he like, oh my god, this is why you're like a failed doctor, blah blah blah. Like, you don't have anything going for you, da da da. Like, he really like lashes out and she's just like, whatever, like, just tell me where the guys are having their bachelor party and don't warn them that I'm coming, because I swear the video will go out to everybody. He agrees, which by the way, I didn't mention it, Evil Guy was getting married, which is just scary, just frightening, like, oh my god. By the way, all of these guys, when they like start getting attacked, I think Paul, he was just like, I was just a kid, and like, I don't know, I think Madison was like, we were just kids. And then even Evil Guy later says, we were all just kids. And she's like, if people say that one more time, I swear. And I'm like, really? Like, med school? You're not a kid anymore. Like, what? You're young, but you're not a kid. I'm like, in a few days, your frontal lobe is gonna be complete. Like, you're gonna be 25. Like, what do you mean you're kids? What? Like, you can drink. Stop. I'm gonna hurry up because it is so long. Like, I'm literally done. Wow. But I guess we could do the finishing touches. I'm so excited. Okay. So yeah, Evil Guy is getting married, and obviously that's very scary for his future wife. Like, what the heck? No. No thank you. No ma'am. No bye. Bye. Goodbye. Bye. He's like, I'm gonna pretend to be a stripper. So she hops on over and she gets to their bachelor place. She's all dressed as a hot nurse with like cute rainbow hair. It's really cute. And she like gets them to all drink their medicine, which is basically alcohol. Like, gives a lap dance to the Evil Guy, and she tells him like, hey, they won't pay me unless we go upstairs. So they go upstairs. Before, he had said like, oh no, like, my wife is gonna kill me if I do anything, blah blah blah. So she's there and he's like, what's your name? She's like, Candy. And he's like, no really. She's like, Nina Fisher. He like completely sobers up. He's not having fun anymore. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, Nina Fisher. And she's like, no, Nina's dead. She's like, well, maybe I'm a different Nina Fisher. Like, you've got me confused. And he was just like, oh my god, you're her. You're the one who used to hang out with her all the time. And that's where she's just like, huh, I didn't think you noticed me back then. I was less affable back then. She's like, yeah, that's me. I'm Cassie. You know, it's really sad. Like, nobody says her name anymore. Everybody's saying your name. Like, she got so sad. Like, you wouldn't even know, Nina. Like, since she was 4 years old, she was exactly who she was going to be. Like, she was so confident. She was just naturally herself. She wasn't afraid to be who she was. She was always exactly who she was going to be, and she was very confident. And you broke that. You broke it out of her. So she's like, you know, I've been wanting to be a doctor again. She like opens her bag, takes a scalpel. So I think we should try that. You know, I'm tired of always hearing your name and never hearing Nina's name. I feel like I'm the only one who ever says it anymore. So since she has your name all over her, I think I should put her name all over you. And that's where she like wants to basically brand him with Nina's name. And by the way, he's like handcuffed to the bed. I know it was a lot, don't judge me. I want it to last. So basically, she like hops onto him and like opens his shirt and like is about to fight everything. He's like really trying to like, no, like get me out of this, blah blah blah. And he breaks free. And he like squishes her and she's like struggling and struggling. She struggles for like 2 minutes, which looks like a lot longer while you're watching it. And he has a pillow over her and he's like literally on her and she's like, stop, just stop moving, stop moving. And he killed her. And I thought it was fake. I was like, no. And I even like kept thinking about it afterwards. I was like, why wouldn't she have been ready for this? Like, she knows who he is. She could have like put alcohol in him or given it to him later, like, or not, maybe not even said she was Nina Fisher. There were so many possibilities. And that's when like Stephanie Sue mentioned that she was very suicidal. I was like, oh my god. Of course she is. Of course that's what it was. I don't know why I didn't even realize it. By the way, this is glitter for my hair. I love it. Because we need glitter on Valentine's Day. I was like, she could have had a taser. Like, she could have done all these things. But she also could have used real handcuffs that weren't the toy kind. And that's what she had. She had toy kind. It was like the kind with like pink fluffiness, and I was just like, oh my god. And like she even could have tied him afterwards, after he was handcuffed. Like, what would he have done? But this was kind of a suicide mission. And it's crazy because she expected to die. She really did. She knew this guy was evil through and through. So she's dead. It's the next morning. Like, evil guy's friend comes in, and you could tell evil guy's friend also sucks. I hate him. He can die. But let me just get to the end of this because it is crazy and it's literally almost the end and my battery will probably die soon and I can't have that. So evil guy's like, oh my god, she's dead. And he's like, nah, he's not. You just, I get it. She dead because y'all did it too much. I'm like, no, she's dead. He opens the thing. Oh my god, she's dead. He's like, I'm gonna go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, you're not going to jail. You're gonna get married today. Blah, blah, blah. So basically they take her. She's like, come on, let's take her before the other guys wake up. And let's get rid of her. So they burn her, all her stuff. They burn her. And all this time she had like really cute like natural nails with a really cute kind of, not really pastel rainbow, but it was like a really cute rainbow. And you see her, it's so creepy. You see her like her hands after she's being burnt. Post-mortem, of course. All her things are being destroyed. They're like trying to hide everything. And it's like in the woods. And then afterwards you see the party. Evil guy gets married. You see that Paul's there. And he's just there chilling. Like he's like kind of sad, but he's like, you know, kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's what I realize right now. He just looks kind of serious, like, what happened, you know? Like did Cassie even go? And then you see evil guy's bestie there, and bestie's like, oh my god, like when you see these hot bridesmaids, it makes you like go home to your wife and like ugh. Like you could just tell he is a disgusting human being. Like I hate him, and all those guys in the group actually. Even Paul. Yeah, I had hope for him. He looked really kind, but no, we hate him. You see like this timeline where Cassie, because it's been a few days I guess, and Cassie's like missing, and her parents are like, oh my god, she's missing, and the police are there, and she's like, oh my god, my daughter's missing, and the dad's like, she's kind of done this before, and she's also depressed, and the mom's like, shut up, and she's like, no, but like, she has done this before, like hopefully she'll come back, like she always comes back, she'll come back, he tells his wife. And I'm like, Dad, I loved you, but like when it's important, you're not that great. Because the mom was kind of frantic and weird about Cassie like being at home and like not prospering. Meanwhile the dad was like more like, it's fine, love, like you get better when you can. But like then he goes and does this. So the police are kind of like, shut and done case. She's depressed. She runs away. Like she just ran away. She'll be back. So they obviously don't look for her. And then you see the lawyer getting a package that basically says, if I go missing, give this to the police. I'm going to a cabin on July 23rd. And if I go missing, I'm probably being killed. And this is the proof of who probably killed me, because I have this video of the rape, blah blah blah. It's so crazy. And then the police go to the doctor, and obviously it's her boyfriend. It's like, oh, I don't know where she went this weekend, even though he knew. He's like, yeah, she was depressed, she was weird, like blah blah blah. So like he also didn't defend her. Again, a nice guy. TM. Like why even then, after she like attacked him, after he lost someone he was falling for, someone he loved, did he still defend these men? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, I don't get it. Why would he defend him? That like made me so mad. I'm like, wow, he has not learned anything and he's still this horrible person. So that's when basically at the wedding they start to hear sirens, and there's scheduled text from Cassie to Paul being like, what, you didn't think this was gonna end like that, did you? I actually can't remember the text because it wasn't really that important, but she was just like, we did it, bitch, like he's going to jail, y'all got caught, blah blah blah. And it's crazy, the sirens are going, they're coming in, and like bestie goes running, trying to run away, and like cops are going after him, and they're like, Alexander blah blah blah, you're under arrest for the murder of Cassandra, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I was still sad because why did she have to die? But like literally I thought it was, if I didn't watch Stephanie Sue, I never would have caught it. I was just like, oh, she could have lived, she could have been happy. But like no, like she was disappointed on every roadblock. Every weekend, not one guy would actually defend her. Not one. All of them try to take her home. So when her boyfriend, whom she was also falling in love with, ended up being exactly the same, he didn't go to the police either in the past, and clearly didn't try to do it or tell her, because he knew that she was best friends with Nina. I feel like it kind of broke her, because he was her hope. Not like it was him, but like she was like, oh my god, I found somebody good. It's a good guy. There are good people. There are good men out there that would like be good. But no, she fell into the wrong guy again, and it just broke her. And so she was just like, well, let's get him into jail because he'll probably kill me. So I feel like that was her plan. She was just like, I'm gonna get Nina her justice, even if it kills me. And so it did, because she just didn't care, which is sad because the justice system, clearly it failed everybody, and it does every day. Don't kill me, guys. But yeah, that's the story. Trust me, I know there's a lot of wonderful men out there. There's so many good people out there. Trust me, I know this. But there are a lot that are bad, and obviously bad, but there are so many people that pretend to be good because it's just so easy, and it's so, nobody wants to believe that they're a bad person. So we just twist and turn and believe like, no, we're not that bad. Like, everybody does that, you know? But yeah, guys, that's it for the movie part. I'm sorry, that took forever. Before I go, I should change. Yes, I'll be right back. I was like having like a lot of combinations. A girl likes to smell good, what can I say? So I like left for like, I don't know, 11 hours. Yeah, it was like 12 p.m. and now it's like 11 p.m. Sorry. I got a snack. I'm sorry. But yeah, my makeup's crazy. Anyway. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but I'm gonna mention it right now. Pretty sure I already said it, but I'll say it again. So, Cass, basically, she was just completely let down by everybody. Like, she couldn't trust her parents to fight for her. She couldn't trust the police to actually do their job instead of trusting really subtle things. Like, I get it, they're useful. They really were just ready to write her off and just call her crazy or just call her depressed and a runaway, which is, you know, oh, and she's, you know, not young, she's of her age, so it's like, what do you mean? And then, worst of all, she really just didn't trust her ex-boyfriend, which is crazy because he had literally not a few days ago, not a week ago, said to her that he loved her. Of course, it was also because he was feeling caught, but you know, you'd think some of that was real, but no. He decided to cover his ex-friend's tracks. I don't know, I don't really get it, because apparently he was like, those guys, like, I don't really talk to them, they're not my friends, but he defended them over a girl he was really into and thought, you know, he was falling in love with. Like, I personally don't get that kind of thing. I really just don't. I think this movie was pretty well done. It's still kind of like, for me who's really oblivious, it kind of like went poof. It blew my mind when I realized that Cassie didn't go into that cabin with Evil Guy to successfully like brand him and leave alive. Like, I think maybe she hoped she could, but I think she was just ready to let it all go. I also feel like maybe she didn't have the, I don't want to say guts to do it herself, like to take her own life, but maybe she didn't have the heart to. Maybe she loved her friend, her friend and her parents too much. And that's why, because it's weird. You can't be so passive and be so willing to just not want to move in life. And that's why I thought that she was fine, or that she was trying to heal. But then when you realize she was actually just, this was her giving up, I was like, oh, interesting. I also just lost my train of thought, so I don't know if that made sense. I hope it did. I really do. But yeah, that's it for this video. I mostly just wanted to rant about her boyfriend. Paul, we hate you. You completely aided in letting a rapist be free. So that's it, guys. That's it. I'm sorry. I know I look insane. This makeup is insane and it has been touched up. So this is generous. Like, if I look decently good, it is all just God, because wow. I'm really sorry for this morbid movie that we covered today, but also it just seemed like an interesting movie. I feel like I like it because the guys got beat in a sense. Obviously I wish that Cass could have lived. I still wish we would have seen like Nina like full screen, maybe in a memory, but we never actually go into a memory of her, by the way. Only in pictures, and in the pictures, I don't know if I'm just blind, but she always just looked like a 15-year-old, and I'm like, what's going on here? I'm very confused. I thought it was college, which it is, so I'm just like, what's going on? I don't know. I care about her either way, but I wanted it to hurt more, you know, to be like, she really was her own person. She really was fully like herself at freaking 4 years old, you know, like make us fall in love with her and make it hurt more, make us even more mad. That's just me though. That's it for this video. But before we go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Become a Lupita Lander. Become one of my besties. Get your passport, your citizenship, the whole shebang. Don't forget to put on the bell, because if you do, you won't see me again. It's just a thing that happens, and we hate it here. But you know, put on that bell. But yeah, that's it. That is all. I'll see you next time. I love you guys so much. I'm Lupita. This is Valentine. Welcome to Lupita Land. Bye, guys. Wow, I'm so tired. Bye.